Hi and welcome to this multi-part video series called Phone Right. My name is David Anthony. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome, and do consider subscribing because this channel is all about helping you go further and faster in business and in life. So let's get started.
Welcome back. Let's now look then at giving your name the way outstanding performers give theirs. Once again, it sounds like this.
Good morning, ABC Company. This is Barbara Prestia.
Good morning, Results Accountant Systems. This is Paul Dunn.
Good evening, Rubber Television. This is Jeremy Norton.
Good afternoon, Jones and Partners. This is Deborah Thomas.
Good morning, this is Paul Raleigh.
Why must it be the first name and the last name? I'm just a receptionist and I don't think people want to know who I am.
Saying my name like that adds to the time it takes to take the call. I'm not sure that's a good thing.
I can understand why we use our full names like that, but why wouldn't we ask, how may I direct your call, or even say speaking after the name? Wouldn't that be more welcoming?
Now they're fantastic questions, aren't they? And let's see how we can answer them so that you do feel okay about using the performance standards just like outstanding performers do. And by the way, that is a key point. We don't expect you to be comfortable using your names in this way yet. Anything that involves changing something you've done for a while makes you feel uncomfortable. So be assured you're feeling perfectly normal. The reason we want you to use both your names has everything to do with self-image and high performance. You already know, I'm sure, that high performers have high self-images, and we know that there is a very definite link here when you use your full names. The best way I can illustrate it is to tell you a story about a training program I was running once for an airline company. It uncovered something for me then, and I really do hope it'll do the same for you now. A team member of the client company, we'll call her Sally Johnson, said to me, "You can talk for as long as you like, but I'm not going to use my name on the call." I asked her why, and she told me because if I screw up on the call, then people will know who it was who screwed up. Quite an amazing attitude, don't you think? I mean, why not take the view, when I do really well on the call, people will know who it was who did really well. But in any event, I asked her if she could take part in a role play with me, and she agreed. It was a very simple role play, one you might want to try. I told her at the start of the role play that she'd been promoted. She was now the chief executive of the airline. I sat her at a desk with a phone and told her her phone was ringing, and bearing in mind she was the chief executive, would she please answer the phone? Without even thinking, she answered, well, what would you bet she did? Well, that's right. She did it exactly and precisely like this.
Good afternoon. This is Sally Johnson.
So here was this person who said she'd never use her name, suddenly using it and doing it without prompting and doing it automatically. I asked her why she did it like that as the chief executive. Well, it's obvious, she said. There's some status attached to being the chief executive, so of course I use my full name. So then I asked her this. So Sally, what you're saying is that there's a link between using your name and your status, is that right? Obviously, she said. And then all that was left for me to say was this. So why then, Sally, are you choosing to lower your status by not using your name? You see, what we often see is that the reason some people would prefer not to use their name is that their self-esteem isn't perhaps what it could be. And as a result, their performance simply isn't as outstanding as it otherwise could be. Now, please don't let that happen to you. Please use your full name irrespective of what position you hold in the team. Use the standards we've given you here so far. They make an enormous difference. And by the way, we're not asking you to use them forever and a day. All we want you to do is to use them precisely as they are religiously for just the next 10 days. I'm willing to bet you'll get a huge surprise and some huge rewards. Now, just before we get to our next break, let's talk about these next two performance standards. Performance Standard 4A, which says listen attentively, and Performance Standard 4B, give out positive strokes. These two make so much sense, but what is perhaps not readily apparent is why these so-called positive strokes are so very important on the phone. They're important because of this research on what is called body language. The research, originally done by Albert Mehrabian, revealed some surprising statistics. Specifically, when people are communicating face-to-face, 38% of the communication is conveyed by the tonality of the words, or if you will, how the words are said. A staggering 55% is conveyed by the body language, small, almost imperceptible gestures and changes in facial muscles that we've become incredibly adept at picking up on. The tiny little smiles, the nod of the head, and so on. Now, if you add that up, that leaves just 7%. And that's all, yes, all, the words themselves convey. Now, if you think about that for the moment, on the phone we can't see the body language, so the words assume a much greater proportion of the impact of the communication. Therefore, we need to overdo those words that let others know we're listening. We need to replace the little nods with phrases like, uh-huh, really, oh, that's great, thank you, and so on. Outstanding performers on the phone are very, very adept at using them. And maybe you'd like to try using them in the break that you're going to have right now. Take a break, discuss all the things we've gone through, and I'll join you back here really soon.
I hope you got a lot of value today. If you did, click the like button. What that does is help us build our non-profit business school, UBLA. Check out in the description below to find out more about what we're doing and how you can help. This is part of a multi-part series, so keep your eye out for the next video. In the meantime, we've done a great playlist about why do small businesses fail. Check this link over here, and this will show you a great little list about how you can be successful in business. So thank you very much. Catch you again soon.